Hi, my name is Mago. I'm a licensed tour guide working from the French Riviera. Today we'll talk about the beautiful city of Nice. Welcome to Nice, one of the oldest cities of France, founded by the ancient Greeks. Look at the topography of the city. The western part, the eastern part, and up in north, surrounded by hills and mountains. The Greeks came, settled atop this hill, and realized that this is a place that would most probably never be defeated. Nice had been given a great name, which I would like you to discover with a visit with me. That being said, Nice has also been occupied by the Romans, and after the Romans, in Nice, atop this very hill, we had a castle built in the medieval ages. In fact, the castle was built in the beginning of the 12th century during the feudalism in France, and it has been, as you can see around you, completely demolished by the very famous king of France called Louis XIV, the one who built Versailles, the palace, the very famous in Paris. Guys, look at this beautiful city, the city of Nice, at the marina of Nice. Why do people constantly say that Nice has the Italian architecture with the Italian influence? It has to do with the history. In fact, Nice has been a bridge between France and the western part from here, and then Italy in the eastern part. In fact, it wasn't called Italy up until 1860s. Italy was composed of different countries and became Italy quite late. For my American friends, you must know that Italy as a country has been unified much later. USA was born as a country. Don't tell that to my Italian friends, because they might hate that fact and they might yell on you. But that's a historical fact.
So we need to talk about this beautiful, structure right here. Keep in mind, guys, this was added to the village in the 14th century. I'll tell you this as an introduction. Look, you'll see 99% of people will simply walk into the village and walk out without realizing this is the most important part of the village. Why? Let me do observation first. Bonjour. And then I will tell you, or I'll ask you questions of why is this so important and what is it built for and when is it built for and what for? Okay, so we'll get all the answers.
Okay.
First observation. There's a hole in a very thick wall. You can have a seat if you want to, Warren.
Yeah, okay.
So this hole, as you can see, is facing the entrance path, which is built in a very narrow way.
Yeah.
You see that, right? The wall here, as you can also see, is kind of rounded.
Yeah.
It's like circle, curved. Thank you. That's the word. The gates are not facing the entrance path. They're rather parallel to the entrance path. There's an arch here of the gates, and on top of it, there's a walking area. My first question for you will be, knowing this is strategic and added in the 14th century to the existing village, what's the hole for? And you might not know it. There's no problem whatsoever.
They would watch with guns.
They wouldn't watch. They had guns, but what type of guns, Maria? In the 14th century, the cannons are invented. You put the cannon in, and Warren, you're facing the entrance path. And you make sure to build the entrance path in a very narrow way. Maria, you played bowling? You know bowling.
Yeah.
Okay. You're working hard, I know, but you play bowling, right?
I played, yes.
Good, so you know. So if you put the pins far away from each other, can you hit them all?
No.
You can't. What about you put them all in one little tiny square?
Yeah, there you go.
You shoot, boom, you get them all.
Get them all.
Guys, this is military engineering, and this is extremely important because today, this is all funny, right?
Yeah.
Back in the days, it's their way of survival.
Yeah.
If they do it wrong, they get killed. Why is the wall curved? Because that isn't random either. There's a reason for everything.
Yeah.
Why is the wall curved? Think about it. Think about the enemies coming here, Warren, Maria. And the enemies also bring cannons because this is the 14th century. They shoot on the wall. What will happen? Use a French word, please. What's going to happen if they shoot on the wall? It starts with an R. I. C. O. C. H. E. T. Ricochet.
Ricochet.
Yeah.
It'll bounce off.
Yeah, I was
It'll just bounce.
ricochets off.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
That's why they do it.
In Paris. If you want to discover more about this city, book a tour. My name is Mago, and go on UniqueTours.fr.